Hello, welcome back to Truthseekerstea. My name is Kate, and I am very thankful to have you here for today's pick a card reading. We're going to be looking at how your person currently thinks that you are feeling about them. So we will be doing an energy check-in just to make sure that you pick the right pile. We're going to be looking at how you would recognize that this is your person, what they're like, what their attributes are. And we will also be getting some advice for you guys about this connection at the end. There will be an extended reading where we will be looking at how the person that we've been talking about in your pile is genuinely feeling about you as well. So a little bit of a tongue twister and confusing. I'm going to do my best to make it clear how I'm talking, because it's that scenario where you have to say they think that you think that, whatever, it gets like a tongue twister. So I'm going to do my best, but I do enjoy these kinds of readings. I think they're fun to look into. So without further ado, let's get into the pick a pile part. So for pile number 1, we have the Morgan-Greer Tarot deck with this clear raw quartz. For pile number 2, we have the Radiant Tarot with this malachite heart. And for pile number 3, we have the Wild Unknown Tarot with this amethyst crystal. So go ahead and take whatever time you need to figure out which pile you're feeling drawn to. Again, there will be that energy check-in to help you guys out. I will have the timestamps linked down below and any other information about the decks that I'm using if you guys are curious about that, along with the extended readings. And without further ado, I'm going to get into the pile. If you need to pause, go ahead and do so, or rewatch any part of the video, maybe on silent, I don't know. But anyways, I'm excited to get into these readings, and I'll see you at your pile. Hello, pile number 3. If you chose the amethyst crystal and the Wild Unknown Tarot, this is going to be your reading where we're looking into how your person currently thinks that you are feeling about them. So we will be doing an energy check-in that will be pretty quick, just to make sure that you pick the right pile and to go into who this person is to you and how you'll recognize that this is in fact your person. So I pre-pulled some of these oracle cards, so let's get right into them. So we have zebra, fox. So we have earth and fire energy. We have labyrinth. We have 4th chakra, Archangel Raphael. This is the heart chakra. We have freedom. We have Saturn return, age, number 50. Okay. So pile number 3, I feel like the person that you have on your mind, or the person that this reading is going to be about, and you can decide whether or not you want to hear it. This is about someone who's you would view as eccentric, someone who's very much tapped into their inner child, someone who thinks very differently, I would say. I feel like this is someone who, there's an element of them, it's like I feel like if this person was older, they'd be someone who never seems like they're old. And it comes through in a really enthusiastic, expressive, and kind of dreamy energy. The songs that came through for this pile, for this person, I started hearing immediately the song by, or it's like, I hope someday you'll join us and the world can live as one. It's like, basically they're dreaming of a new world. And so there's kind of Aquarius energy here, which is an air sign, but that's the vibe I'm getting, is someone who thinks differently. They may spend a lot of time in their mind with the labyrinth, or you may feel like this person's, they're hard to understand because they're kind of quirky or different, but they also are easy to understand because they kind of activate the inner child of other people too. And it would be hard to not care for this person or feel protective of them almost. There's a innocence and a purity to this person. For a lot of you guys, you might have picked yourself. So just be aware of that. But again, this definitely could be your person. With the fox being here, there's a feeling that they're very sentimental. I feel like this person's really cares about their relationships. I feel like they're a big relationship person. And I think they mainly live through the heart. And I almost think sometimes this person maybe at times is somewhat ungrounded or impractical, would be some of the things that I think this person may have a harder time with, because I feel like this person lives through their heart chakra so much that um, maybe people who are more logical or practical could feel like there's maybe some naive energy here. But with the Saturn's return being here, there's also a feeling that this person has been growing, or you maybe would know this about them, that they may be going through the time period in their life. This person could be somewhere in their 20s or around age 60, but around 29 and 60 is when we go through our Saturn return. So this person could be approaching the age of 29, or they could just be starting to have to kind of ground themselves into reality. And I think this person maybe would find that difficult, because I feel like they do value their freedom here. Over social conventions, over being practical. I'm also kind of getting Peter Pan, but not in like the bad way, but like in a good way, in like the being tapped into your inner child way. And I do think this person is very intelligent, though. It's like they have, and like I'm just looking at the zebra with the sixth eye chakra with the triangle here. So this person I feel like is very intuitive, dreamy, and also passionate, though. Also has a lot of their own ideas, and they maybe are very like innovative. They could be someone who likes to think of, who uses their brain is like their best asset and sometimes their greatest downfall. It's like I feel like this person could get in their head, and it may be hard for them to just function on a regular basis, but then they also are very imaginative, and they're able to be creative and think of new potentials in life. And there's almost this feeling that even though as they get older, they know that they have to be practical, and they have to let go of fantasies or things that aren't serving them, they still maintain this childlike and imaginative energy to them. Yeah, so hopefully that would give you a good idea as to who this person is and whether or not this is someone that you're interested in learning about how they think you're feeling. So I'm definitely interested to get into this pile. So I'm just going to sweep these away, then we're going to get into tarot. There will be an extended reading as usual, and we'll be looking at how this person is feeling about you. So the YouTube readings will be looking at how they think you're feeling, and then the extended will be going into how this person's actually feeling about you right now. So Spirit, please have me into pile number 3's person that we just described. How are they thinking that pile 3 is feeling about them? Or how, wait, am I getting this right? How they think you feel about them. Yeah. How does pile number 3's person think pile 3 feels? Okay, we have the Two of Pentacles. We have the Daughter of Cups, which is the Page of Cups. We have Temperance in reverse. Okay, so what I'm getting so far with this Two of Pentacles, this person thinks that you are feeling like maybe this relationship with them is something that's difficult to balance into your life, or they may think that you have a lot of priorities, and maybe they feel like you are trying to maintain balance in your life. And with the Temperance being in reverse, there's almost this feeling of maybe they feel like you're holding back from them because you have priorities or you have responsibilities, and you're kind of, your schedule is like really tight or something. And so it's almost like they think you view them as like an escape, or kind of like something that doesn't really fit into their practical life. Let's get some more. You have the World here in reverse. Yeah, the Seven of Pentacles. Yeah. So what I'm getting here is that, again, that's kind of validating that, is like with this Seven of Pentacles, it's like they think that you do have sweet feelings for them, that you do see them, you do see their innocence, you do see what they offer, and you do feel an emotion for them. They do think that you have some feelings for them, but there's a feeling that they think that you don't see a future with them, or that you don't really want to invest in this, is how they think you feel. They think that you feel like it might throw your life off, or they think that you wouldn't want to, you might think it'd be impractical. So it's kind of going along with like this person being more childlike and dreamy, and then so maybe they view you as more practical. But with the World in reverse, it may be that like as of right now, they think that you can't see how this is going to come together, and so it's almost like you'd rather focus on your priorities in front of you than it's because of it's what you can control. And they almost feel like that you feel like you aren't really able to control the outcome of this relationship, and so it may be something that you don't really know if it would be worthwhile to put more effort into. You have the Emperor here in reverse. Yeah. And then the Tower at the back of the deck. So yeah, the way that they think you feel about them, they feel like you maybe even view them as kind of like a disruption to your life. It's almost like they feel like you live your life one way, and then the introduction of them is a complete disruption to the usual balance and function of your life. And they also feel like, I'm hearing control freak, so don't take that personally, but they almost think that you maybe that you're extremely practical. And with this Emperor in reverse, it could be that maybe sometimes maintaining control and structure and a plan, and also like, yeah, authority over like what's going on, and along with like knowing how to, there's a feeling that they know that you really value structure and everything to do with the Emperor. So that's like being in control. And like the Emperor is the energy that tells us that yes, water has so much healing potential, and water's magical, and the feminine energy is also very magical, but it needs a structure. And so this person, I think, feels like this relationship, or that their energy maybe disrupts your flow. And it's almost like they think they even trigger you. Like they think that they trigger you into even being more controlling, or more concerned that things might come out of balance. There's a feeling that, yeah, they really view that although this person does tug on your heartstrings, it's in a way that maybe they perceive that you don't enjoy. Like they almost think that it triggers you or makes you feel more stressed, or it's almost like a burden, they think sometimes. And this could just be from their own perspective, but they maybe do feel sometimes like you don't think they have a place in your life, which is kind of sad, but I mean, that's kind of what's coming through. It's almost like, what would the use of that be in my world, Um, and also, yeah, and I'm also kind of getting that, like with the World here too in reverse, that they may think that you have some sort of long-term plan for your life, or some sort of structure you're following that you're afraid of deviating from. And they may think that you view anything with them as like a disruption to like what you currently have going on. But yeah, look at the Sun there. But they also think that they do make you happy, and that with the Eight of Swords, they maybe even think that you're stuck or have a lot of pressure to be this emperor figure, and it may be that they also think that you're maybe sometimes out of balance with this is more their feelings, so we don't have to go into their feelings, but it's more like they think that you trigger, that they trigger you into feeling the need to okay, so they may even think that they highlight maybe something that is imbalanced with you. You know, they maybe think that this is their feelings, but I feel like it's useful for context. With temperance, they might think that you're kind of extreme sometimes, and like maybe they think that their energy can be triggering because it might be highlighting to you maybe where you need more like fun and like play in your life. There's a feeling here that you feel that they, on one hand, they think that you actually really need more of their energy, that you could actually use an embodiment of their energy, and that deep down, I think your inner child really loves this person. They think that on a level you do have love for them, but there's so many layers above that like that doesn't align with like this strict hold that they think you have on needing to be focused on structure, control, productivity, career, even things like that, and the need to be really practical with where you're putting your energy. This person thinks that this is more of their feelings, but it's like they think that you wouldn't have time for fun or like romance or things like that. Yeah, they feel like honestly the way you feel about them has a lot more to do with less to do with your feelings and actually more to do with your life structure and your values and your priorities. And this person just feels like you maybe don't think that they're a priority, and they also think that you don't think that you would make them a priority. Like they think that this dynamic with them is something that's very much on the peripheral and something that isn't, it's not that it's not that important, it's that what is important to you, they feel, is more practical things and having like a long-term goal for the future and being structured with your life, like that. Maybe they even think that you overwork or something like that, but yeah, there's a feeling that they don't have time for it or something like that. Yeah, they feel like they think that you are trying to not cause any chaos in your life, and they maybe think that you intentionally kind of push this connection away because you don't want it to mess up your current way of functioning. Yeah. So hopefully that makes sense. We're going to pull some oracle cards as well. How does pile number 3's person think that pile 3 feels about them? They think that you view them as someone that, you know, you do have a soft spot for them, but you also maybe question like what it could bring you, or like what it could, what on a practical level this could build into. And they think that you're very focused on that. And so maybe you put lower value on like this Page of Cups energy, like this inner child having fun, you know, just doing things for the sake of, you know, your feelings and things like that. They don't think that you focus on that too much. So what else? How does pile number 3's person think that they're feeling? I see community and higher power. All right. So what they feel is that you may have some sort of a community that you're responsible for with the Emperor here. Maybe you lead people, or you have to be careful with your time. But they also feel like they are something that would be able to help you tap into your like higher self almost. It's like they feel like you have a lot of resistance to them, but they know at the end of the day that they are a good they have a strong purpose in your life, is how they feel. They feel that you know that. They feel that you know that they feel like you think that they're in tune maybe with the divine, maybe they think that you feel like they are very free-spirited, you know, because that was coming through as like their energy. And so it's almost like while you're thinking about the community and like serving that, it's almost like this person makes you consider serving a higher power or following your intuition more. And there's something really intuitive about your person. And so there's almost this feeling that with higher power, it's like, I'm almost getting this energy of this person making you consider what you value. And I'm almost getting like royalty versus like the Pope or something. Like I'm kind of getting this comparison of um does that make sense? So it's almost like they're almost seeing you, this is more their feeling, but whatever, we're just gonna go into it, is like they see you as being more loyal to this, like almost like imagine if you were like in the royal court or something, like back in the day, I guess. It's almost like this person would be more loyal to the religious leaders, you know, and the people who are trying to like follow a higher power, channel information that way. And it's almost like you're more in charge of the people, like in charge of that essence. And so there's like, I feel like that's that like Two of Pentacles. It's like these two sides of things that this relationship causes you to contemplate or ask yourself, what do you want your ending to be? And so they feel like while you may write them off as being like something that you couldn't focus on, they feel like the reason they are important to you though, because they help you consider your end goal, and they highlight maybe some tendencies about you as well that maybe are imbalanced, you know, with this Temperance in reverse. They maybe think that the more that you repress like what this person's showing you, the more controlling you'll be and the more necessary it will be for you to find balance. But yeah, at the end of the day, it's really like they think that they make you consider your end goal. And they think that they broaden your horizon in some way. Or they think that you feel like they maybe make you question your end goal. And that may be something that you don't like, because it brings us security to feel like we know what we want or know what we're doing. And so they feel like, yeah, that's like that Tower energies. They feel like you see them as something that has a potential to like completely reroute them, you know, but it's something that you're resistant to as well. All right, let's get some more. I want to get these. Yeah. Actually, I'm going to get some of these guys first. How is pile number 3's person thinking that pile 3 feels about them? Yeah, look at this. Just what I was saying with change coming out. Like that's exactly what I was just saying, is like they feel like the presence of them in your life is a catalyst for change for you, or is something that brings the idea of change to your mind that makes you maybe uncomfortable, or maybe it doesn't, but it's almost like they think that that's the conundrum, or they think that they maybe serve as a symbol or a mechanism to show you different potentials and to show you whether or not you want to keep investing in what you're investing in, or if you want to think bigger almost, or not bigger, but think in a different route. Almost like they give you a balance to your mentality and the way you are, because with the Emperor in reverse, that's like a very fixed energy, right? And so they feel with this Tower that they are this change agent, you know? So that kind of just validates what I was sensing. Let's get one more of these. How does pile number 3's person think they feel? Connect, yeah. They feel, and then love at the back of the deck. They definitely feel like they have an impact on your heart chakra. I think it's just natural for this person due to the fact that they came through with the heart chakra, and it feels like they move that way. But there's this feeling of like what Spirit's showing me is like the way this is kind of deep, so it's kind of confusing for me to explain, but it's like they think that the impact they have on you is because they're someone who likes to connect so deeply with other people, and like, do you see how they're connected through their heart chakra? It's almost like they have a different way of going about their life, whereas it's almost like maybe the way you would connect with people would be to like a king or a queen who's like making the decisions and make like doing the practical things, but they don't have a close relationship with the people. Maybe they do sometimes. That's what I'm like being imagining. And then I'm also imagining like a pope who spends a lot of time building a lot of relationships with their people. And so there's almost a feeling of understanding your potential in terms of feminine energy as well, is honestly what I'm getting. It's like, it's almost like they feel like they bring in this feminine energy to you, or this energy that asks you to connect with other people and asks you if maybe that could bring more balance to your life. But with connect here, they do feel like you feel like they require intimacy or vulnerability, and they also think that that may be something that you're not necessarily comfortable with. It's like you'd rather be more in control, and they maybe feel like they are a little too intimate, or they think that you perceive them as very intimate and requiring like a heart chakra connection, and they maybe think that you don't have time for that, or that you would have to change in order to connect with that energy and to connect with that love energy, right? Oh my gosh. And then underneath that we have structure. So totally, it's like there's this structure energy that you bring to the table, and then there's this like free flowing love energy that they feel like they bring, and this relationship between those two. All right, let's see what else. How else does pile number 3 think their person is feeling, or think that how does pile number 3's person think that pile 3 is feeling? They may think that you're very resistant to change. They think that you feel like the change that maybe this relationship would require is you're too rooted or something. Like, it's like with this community, it's like you're rooted where you are. And it's like, it's kind of interesting that the freedom came through as well, because it's like this person's a very free person, and it's almost like they act as like a reflection of a difference to you. So what else? How does pile number 3's person think pile 3 is feeling? We have mask, not showing true feelings, hide, personify, pretend, delude, gaslight. Yeah, so they may feel like you intentionally block connection with them, because that's what I was kind of getting, is like the connect card is here, but it's almost like they feel like uncomfortable with that. And so it's almost like they think that even though there are feelings there, they think that you see those feelings as a threat, or you try to practicalize them. It's like maybe you have a feeling and then you're just like, well, that isn't practical, so I'm just going to kind of pretend like nothing happened, because that's kind of what I wish it was. And with the emperor in reverse can just be very like rigid and needing to be in control. And so they feel that you feel the need to be that way, especially in response to them. It's almost like, not to say that you're always like that. It's almost like they just think that they bring that out in you. And I'm trying to think of like a similar mechanism. It's almost like, it's like when opposites, I don't know, there's almost this feeling of a polarizing effect, where it's like almost this person around like pushes you even further into this kind of not being in touch with your feelings as much, and like being practical and being a leader, or being cognizant of your future and being practical, basically. So they definitely think that you don't show them they think that you feel like you have to kind of hide your feelings. And until they think that you would hide your feelings, that you feel like you need to hide your feelings because you don't want to make a certain change in order to honor them. Yeah, love. It says unconditional love, self-love, oneness, passion, affection, attraction. So they definitely think that you have feelings for them. And they think that you hide them. One more. Wow. Okay. We just got so much. So, wow. Okay. So we literally have the runner. So runner in a codependent relationship, fear of intimacy, listening to ego. Yeah, that's basically what I'm getting. Like, that's kind of what I've been trying to say, is like they perceive that you're in a runner energy. We see separation, sadness, missing you, thinking about you, yearning, unsure future. Literally. That's like that world. It's like they almost feel like they're just choosing separation, but it's like there's a melancholy energy as well, because it's like unsure of future, but they're thinking about you. So it's almost this energy of like there is that care there, but at the same time, um, I don't know how to make this work, so I'm going to kind of play it safe and keep running. We also do have the snake. It says competition, enemy, clever, malicious, look over your shoulder, the other woman. They may think that there's other people involved in this. They may think, yeah, that there's third party situations that sabotage the connection anyways. And so they may feel like there's, yeah, and that might be that community. They may think that there's some sort of toxic energy that kind of keeps you stuck. And then the last thing we have is twin flames. So I was kind of picking up on that feeling of like the opposite energy, but it says yin and yang, zen, balance, union, duality, coupling, complement each other. And like that's that two pentacles that I was picking up there as well. Yeah, and then we have the dragonfly here, which just says being lighthearted, finding out things, coming to light, adapt, change, heal. And it's almost like they feel like that is the energy that's on the horizon or something. They almost feel like that's the energy that's like underlying with this change. It's like things coming to light, and that like tower as well. Change is literally on here again, and then like healing though through change. But yeah, that's pretty clear here. So I hope that this makes sense for you. So for the extended reading, we're going to be, oh, actually, I'll get you an advice card before we go into the extended. Let's see what advice Spirit has for you. They also think that they have the ability to kind of destabilize you or destabilize your feelings, and then it triggers you to even be more controlled and more mask even more. All right, what advice do we have for pile number 3 in regards to this connection? It says embrace the in-between. Be peace. Trust in the great mystery with the whale as well. So with embrace the in-between, I feel like what Spirit's saying is that this may be like an interesting time for you, like especially with what we've kind of like been seeing with this change, and like maybe feeling sometimes a little bit imbalanced, and maybe that's something that's not comfortable for you. But I feel like what Spirit's saying is that like you are in a time period of transition and transformation, and sometimes we kind of have to accept that it's uncomfortable to be in between two stages, and it's almost like with this temperance in reverse is kind of that in-between energy where it's like maybe sometimes we're fluctuating a lot or we're going back and forth, and that can be really draining. But it's almost like with the embrace in between, it's like I see it as this pendulum where it's like 1 foot this way, 1 foot that way, and it's kind of like this like thing that's teeter-tottering and trying to find that midpoint. And so I feel like what Spirit's recommendation for you is right now is to find more ways in your life to bring more calm and serenity, and to not worry too much about this connection. I don't know if you are anyways, but there's kind of this feeling of bringing peace to your own life and bringing balance to your own life is something that is going to make this situation seem less stressful or hectic or threatening to you, I almost feel like. And then with trust in the great mystery, I feel like that's kind of a message, because this is based on how they think you're feeling, but it's kind of being validated by this. It's like you may spend a lot of time being afraid of like how things will turn out in the future, or you may want to have a plan and like want to have things under control. But there's a message here of the more you can find peace through the change, and the more that it's an opportunity to cultivate resilience and flexibility in the face of change, and learning to embrace change, and trusting that the universe is pushing you in the direction that is the best outcome for you, even if it's not the outcome that your ego thinks is the best. So hopefully that's helpful. We're going to be going to the extended now. We're going to be looking at how this person is honestly feeling about you. But that's all I have for the YouTube reading. Thank you so much for joining me. I really enjoy doing these readings. And make sure you like the video if it did help you in any way. Make sure you leave a comment so I know how these videos are resonating with you guys. And make sure you subscribe so you don't miss the next Pick a Card reading. And I hope to connect with you again sometime soon. Welcome to your reading, pile number 2. If you chose the Malachite Heart crystal and the Radiant Tarot. This is going to be a reading where we're having a look at how your person thinks you feel. Sorry if I'm out of breath. I just was stretching. I don't know why I'm like out of breath sitting down, but I am. So we're going to start off with a short energy check-in where we're just going to be looking at who this person is to help you feel sure that you picked the right person or the right pile and maybe the right person. We'll see. All right, I'm going to move this to the side for now. Okay, let's see what we got. So we have the buffalo. So this could be someone that has earth energy in their chart. Doesn't have to be. We have you can't find goodness because you lost your heart. I said that like with such a positive tone, but it's like a negative, or it's not negative, but anyways, okay. We also have storyteller. So with the light attribute being ability to experience and express life through stories and symbols, and then shadow attribute making up tales that harm others. We have man holding a heart. We also have choice. And we have earth element. So this is double confirmation that this definitely could be someone that has an earth sign. So it'd be a Virgo, a Capricorn, and Taurus potentially. So I just want to rearrange these. Okay. So it's kind of interesting that we have a man holding a heart and then you can't find goodness because you lost your heart. So what I'm getting from that, especially given this buffalo character here, there's a feeling that overall this person comes through as someone who definitely does not panic. Definitely doesn't panic when something goes wrong. There's a feeling that this person has journeyed through life. There's kind of like a wise energy here, or an energy of someone that has had their ups and downs, has moved through life, or either they're just an old soul or they actually literally are someone that has maybe traveled a lot, maybe had a significant amount of life experiences. This just feels like someone who has grown wiser throughout life. And it's almost like this person, it feels like they've realized certain spiritual, they've learned spiritual lessons through the physical world. And there's a feeling that this person, they're very grounded in reality and they're very competent. Like I feel like this person has good street smarts. They may even have with storyteller here, like this person may be someone who has a lot of stories to tell, or they could just be the kind of person that it's like you bring up India and it's like, oh, one time I went there, or you bring up something, it's like this person's well traveled. It's like they have a story about everything, or it just feels like they have a lot of life experience to pull from, or they're just very good at taking life experiences that they've gone through and seeing the lesson or seeing the purpose in them. This person seems like someone who's very for the journey in life, and someone who understands duality and understands that life, the nature of life is change, and the nature of life is not just a breeze. This is someone who doesn't expect things to be given to them. They don't expect they know they know that a lot of their happiness and their experiences come from their mindset. And I even think this, you can't find goodness because you lost your heart. It's almost like this is coming through as a lesson that they've learned. It's almost like this person knows that if you're closed off internally, and if you're looking outside of yourself, so let's say you're journeying and trying to travel to find yourself or to find love or find happiness, it's like this person knows that you can't find that. You're not going to find that externally. It's all about growing it within yourself. And so it may be that this person in the past was a journeyer, and they maybe learned the hard way, or they learned throughout life that it's really what you make of it and what your perception is. It's going to impact how you see the world. And this person is able to to see the silver linings of situations and loves the journey. Like I feel like this person would enjoy watching movies because it's almost like their life is a movie, or they're able to see how life itself is like a play, or life itself is like that, you know? And so I think this person has actually grown to be extremely kind, grounded, supportive, and loving. And it's like through experience they've learned to be this way. And with choice being here, it's giving me this feeling that, and it's kind of contributing to what I was mentioning before with the you can't find goodness because you lost your heart. And storyteller, there's just a feeling of this person knowing that it's our choice in life where we go. It's up to us. This person definitely doesn't feel thrown around by life, or they don't feel like they're a victim. This person never feels like a victim. They feel very aware, and it maybe hasn't always been this way, but as you know them now, there's a feeling that they're able to be so grounded and not be so affected by different shifts, because they know that even if external conditions are shifting and maybe it's difficult, there's an energy here of it's always your choice how you're going to respond. And I'm getting that quote, which I can't remember, but it was a really popular one. Like I feel like I heard it when I was really young, but it was something like oh, it's like 90% of life is, or like 10% of life is what happens to you, and 90% of life is like how you respond to it or something. But there's a feeling of them, because they feel capable and they aren't afraid of challenge, they come through as grounded, and they also come through as unaffected by shifts or unexpected outcomes. It's like this person knows how to stay grounded with themselves. And so this is actually really beautiful energy. I definitely get like really good vibes, which is really fun because it's not always that we are the most interested in learning more about people that are good communicators and very clear, because and we'll see when we get to like more into it, but there's just a feeling that fundamentally this person is pretty self-aware, is pretty is very grounded, yet also aware of deeper spiritual lessons and morals. And they may even be interested in, I'm kind of, what I'm being brought to is like Hindu, or like how a lot of or it's not that they are interested in that, it's almost similar to that. You know how, or any Bible, like, you know how a lot of religious stories or religious principles are communicated through storytelling. And so that's what I'm kind of getting here. It's almost like this person is able to see life in that way, is able to see the lessons, is able to see the morals, is able to understand things in that way. So I hope that makes sense. But that's what I'm picking up. Hopefully that would be a good enough way to figure out whether or not this sounds like your person or definitely not like your person. I do this energy check-in for all piles. So if you feel like this isn't resonating for you, you may want to check out another pile. I realized this was slightly crooked, so I'm sorry about that. But yeah, I'm going to move it anyways. So now we're going to go into how they think you are feeling about them. We're going to go right into tarot, and then we're going to pull more oracle cards as we go along. Let me just put these back. I just want to have all the options if we do want to use that deck. All right. I will also be taking reversals today. I'm just feeling like getting the full picture. All right. So for pile number 2, how does our person think they're feeling? Also, there will be an extended reading where we will be looking at how this person that we just talked about is actually feeling about you. So if you feel like this is really resonating for you, you might want to check that out. How is pile number 2's person thinking that pile number 2 is feeling about them? The King of Pentacles here in reverse. The Knight of Pentacles. I'm not surprised to see this because we had so much earth energy coming through. So another thing I'm getting about this person is that they could be well off, or it's like they've made their way in the world to success potentially through just consistent effort. It's like this person is able to stay consistent and dedicated to their endeavors. It's like they don't expect things to be easy, so they're in this perfect energy. That's just like a kind of a trait of the earth energy, is being resilient and being stable and consistent. So how does pile number two's person think that they're feeling? Oh, the devil. Ooh, interested to get into that. That's Capricorn energy though. This person maybe thinks that you feel like they're very worldly. They may think that you see them as someone who's very almost like too attached to the material or their goals, because of the King of Pentacles being in reverse, it's giving me a feeling that they think that maybe you feel that they're too attached to what they've built up for themselves or creating stability. This could be someone who's like holding on too tightly to that. So let's see what else. How's pile number two's person thinking that pile two feels about them? Seven of Cups in reverse. The Wheel of Fortune in reverse. How is pile two's person thinking they feel? Okay, whoa. Five of Swords and the Five of Wands. And then also the Five of Cups in reverse at the back of the deck. Wow. Okay, I'm going to get a sip of my tea. This may be someone you know really well, honestly, because it feels like what's coming through is more than just like surface level. But there's a feeling here that they think that you feel like maybe this person is sometimes a little bit too like one-sided, or that they're not imaginative enough. Because with the Seven of Cups in reverse, there's almost a feeling that they think that you view them as being someone who doesn't like to consider multiple options, or doesn't, because it's almost like this Seven of Cups energy would be very opposite to what vibe I've been getting from your person. And so it's almost like emphasized here in how they think you feel is that maybe sometimes there's a lack of creativity, or there's a lack of surprise. Maybe this person thinks that you might even see them as not boring, but almost like not imaginative is what I want to say, or someone that isn't really open to exploring, or isn't open to taking risks. Okay, that's what I would say too. There's a feeling that they think that you feel like they're the kind of person that will not even consider something, will not take any action towards something unless they know exactly what it's going to be. They know exactly what they're going to get out of it. And yeah, so it's coming through a little bit more in a shadow element about how the way that they think that you view them, which is really interesting, because I asked Spirit to tell us how you would recognize them, especially in the energy check-in. So hopefully you're still here, because maybe it's just that's more their light attributes. Because maybe it's like they feel like they've seen the world, and so they don't. It's almost like I'm getting like a know-it-all energy, or like they almost think that you might see them as someone who is almost like, I'm getting the energy of someone who's not tapped in with their inner child, or someone that is very grown up, or like too adult in a way. Does that make sense? Like almost someone that's not fun anymore. Like I'm almost just getting this energy of someone who, them thinking that maybe you think that that they're not exciting, that you always know exactly that this person thinks that you view them as extremely fixed and kind of methodical, and maybe very adverse to risky situations. Yeah, because with the Wheel of Fortune in reverse, it's almost like they think that maybe even stubborn. They maybe even think that you see them as stubborn or overly focused on what they can control. Like it's almost like they don't like to take emotional risks, because they would rather put their energy into something that they feel will be guaranteed to build something up. And I feel like the devil's energy is here, and we'll have to like dig into this, but the first thing that's coming through really is um the Capricorn energy here. So this person could have Capricorn in their chart. But I am getting that with the 5 of Cups in reverse, it's almost like there's just a kind of like, they think that you see them as overly wise, or someone who knows, who doesn't like to take risks because it's like they think that you wouldn't want to walk down the same path, or like sometimes, okay, this is, sorry, I'm like, I don't know why I'm tripping over my words so much, but there's a feeling that they think that you feel like they aren't really open to exploration, or they aren't open to multiple viewpoints, or they just feel like they know what's best, you know, because of their experience or because of just who they are. They think that they know what's best, and there's no surprises when it comes to them. And with the 5 of Cups in reverse, there's a feeling that they have experienced loss in their past, and if anything, their experiences of loss have caused them to be even more dedicated to the things in which they can control. And so the way that they think you view them is someone who almost tries to outsmart life, you know? Like there's almost this feeling that it could even be irritating sometimes how dead set this person can be on getting certain results, especially if you're someone who is more watery, or more any of them, like honestly more fire. This person just rings so intensely true for earth. And so they like stability, they like things that are predictable, they like to stay the course even if it looks like something has gone wrong. It's like this person likes to keep pushing forward in the same energy. I'm getting monotony, or like the same thing over and over and over again. And so yeah, they think that you maybe think that they have almost an unhealthy attachment to feeling that you know the right course, or to thinking that you know that okay, what am I saying? They think that you believe them to be someone who is always trying to kind of control things because they deem themselves as having the experience, or having the knowledge, having the maturity, having the authority almost to say it. So yeah, let me look though. So we have the 5 of Swords here in reverse, and then the 5 of Wands. What I'm getting is like, it's really hard. They feel that you feel like it's almost impossible to compromise with this person, because they're so set in their ways and so sure about it that they don't necessarily respect other points of view. Or they may even think that sometimes you feel like there could just be arguing with this person, you know what I mean? Or there could be a feeling of maybe they think that you wish that there could be more productive arguments, like where both people are saying different points of view, right? With the 5 of Wands, but it came over the 5 of Swords. And so there's almost this feeling that this person may be conflict averse too. Like they may just, I'm kind of getting like a parental vibe here, like where someone just like end of story, end of discussion. I'm hearing I'm smart, you're dumb. But like not that mean, because that's like the Matilda energy here. This person thinks that you maybe feel shut down by them sometimes, or they think that you feel like they aren't open to taking in your perception, because they maybe think that if things were to go your way, then it would go wrong. And they always, I'm almost even seeing here like the you know in Avatar, when it's like the Tylees and there's just two different groups when they're going through this passage, and they're basically opposites of each other, and one of the groups is the type that likes to take risks and there's obviously some benefits to taking risk and some downsides. And then there's this other group that's very proper, like they like to take all the proper precautions. So for example, they put the tarp up over their tent in case it rains, and then the other group would just use the tent as like an extra blanket, I think. And so it's almost like that's more risky, but then they kind of get the benefit out of it. And I feel like there's kind of an energy here where maybe sometimes you guys have different ways of approaching things and it clashes a lot. And yeah, they maybe think that you feel like they're controlling. They think this. So I mean, I don't know how much of it is true, but they genuinely think that they come through as controlling. They think that you perceive their stability and practicality as being controlling. And I'm very surprised to see what this person feels, because maybe they actually think that, they're just completely right, but they think that, oh my gosh. So this person kind of has a distorted view, because I want to say it's almost this feeling of like, they're almost trying to paint it to me like you think that you know what you want, but you actually don't, and this person's actually practical, and then you end up viewing them as being controlling or dogmatic or too rigid. But it's almost like they're trying to come through and be like, well, I'm saving this person from misfortune. So there's kind of a controlling energy here, and kind of an energy of like them maybe thinking that they know what's best for you, and thinking that you misinterpret their knowledge and their stability and their earth energy. And they may even think that you feel like there's an incompatibility, or they think that when you guys disagree, it's like this person thinks that you feel like it's like them being controlling, but it's almost like they're almost portraying it like, I'm just being the Knight of Pentacles. I'm just staying consistent to the plan. Like, I'm not going to take these risks because like I already know how that goes. Like, I've already built up this much success. So pile number 2 should listen to me. So this is more of their feelings. We'll get into that in another part. But yeah, there's just this feeling of kind of my way or the highway, but maybe because they actually do have some level of knowledge or something like that. But it just kind of feels like there's some tension here, or some some feeling that they maybe think that you feel rebellious towards them, or you feel like they always have to win or something, or like they don't even allow for healthy argument. They might shut down, stuff like that. And it's like, it's because they think they know what's best. This is their feelings, but like they think that you view it as them being controlling and being whatever, being risk averse, maybe being boring or too rigid. Again, I'm kind of repeating myself, so I'm just going to get into the oracle cards. But with this 5 of Cups here too, they may even think that you feel like they haven't moved on from the past, or you may think that they're subconsciously trying to avoid some error from their past, or like they think that you think that they are still holding on to something, and like that's why they're being really careful. I'm trying to think of an example. It's just giving me a lot of parental energy, or like older brother energy, or older something, where you know what I'm also getting is like, if you guys have seen Avatar 2, it's like Jake Sully in that. He's now a father, and he's pretty like hard on them, and he's like, we're going to do things this way. And it's like, because he has more experience in that world and things like that, and then the kids are like kind of seeing him as like unfair or something, but he's like, no, like I know the territory. So kind of it feels like that. And so they think that you view them as being overly like rigid and harsh or something. But just based on their energy check-in, like they did seem to have a good amount of knowledge and experience. But maybe it's a little more dark than I realized. So let's get into some oracle cards now. How does pile number 2 choose person think pile 2 is feeling about them? the gallery of those that came before. Yeah, it's almost like there's a feeling here that you see this person as making certain decisions in order to try to come to some sort of successful resolution, but not being very imaginative or authentic. Like they almost think that you view their very grounded nature or their practical nature as unoriginal or unauthentic. And they may even think that you view them like as being overly attached to a certain outcome or overly attached to doing something that has been tried and true to be successful instead of maybe trying out different things that could be more unique. We have love grows love. They may think that you feel like this person maybe just needs more love or something, or that this person maybe can be closed off to risking things. And so what I'm kind of getting is maybe in the energy check-in, they are not as evolved. Like there could be an energy where I don't know, like it's almost like they see you also as someone who's kind of a dreamer, right? Like there's almost this energy here of you being a dreamer and being someone who's positive, and like the pink bubble fairies at the bottom too. And so they see you as someone who's very optimistic and like in this energy of like, everything will be fine. Like if we're just nice in this situation, or if we're caring, then we'll get a good result. And it's like they think that maybe sometimes this is more their feelings, but maybe they feel sometimes that it's naive, or that trust them, like, you know, maybe they used to be that way in the past, but you know, they're not now. Yeah, so maybe, yeah, that's what I'm getting. Let's get some more though. I'm curious, you guys should let me know what kind of relationship this is, because it feels like it could be, I don't know, it doesn't have to be romantic, but this could also be the dynamic of like someone who's, I don't know if this person's like older than you or something. Or you guys even could be the same age, but there's just a feeling, it doesn't even have to be that there's a real age difference. It could be that you guys just have very fundamentally different energies to you, and it is directly opposite. Let's see what else. How does pile number 2's person think? We have time to go. How does pile number 2's person think that they're feeling? And then chaos and conflict. Yeah, so it could be that this person feels like you maybe want to get away from this because you're not feeling, here, let me scoot some of this over, because you're not feeling free enough. It's almost like this feeling of like there's just fundamental differences between you where it's like each person doesn't really feel honored. And I'm kind of reading the overall energy, but the way that you feel, the way that they think you feel is that there's just a lot of butting heads or like not agreeing with each other. And it's almost like they maybe think that you want to walk away because there isn't a resolution to it, or it's like you're not going to agree with them, they're not going to agree with you, and so they think that you feel like you might want to go to somewhere else that better aligns with your mentality. Yeah. But yeah, we have a lot of energy here of there being this fundamental difference that causes conflict between you two. And I am getting like from your perspective, and I could see how like there maybe is some good truth to, I think this is more about their feelings, but I think just reading this energy, it's like this person is trying to be loving, is wanting to look out for your best interest, and does want to support you, and does have a big heart. Like this person does. There's just the feeling of them having such a big heart that they don't want anything to happen to the people that they care about, or like things like that. So it feels like that. It's like this person is actually loving, but maybe sometimes the way it comes through is is my way or the highway, or like kind of controlling, you know. But they think you maybe misinterpret their philosophy as being more negative, and they think that you maybe want space from them, or you're kind of wanting to get away from them because it's like there's a misinterpretation. They maybe think that you feel like they just want to fight with you, or that they don't care, or something like that, or like that the relationship is becoming kind of more bad than good sometimes, is maybe how they think you're feeling about it. And then with choices, it's kind of interesting that choices came out because it's here. When it comes to choices, it's like this person in their energy checking, maybe what I wasn't picking up on is this feeling that it's like this person doesn't like leaving things to chance, or it's like they try to make choices that are based on their past experiences and based on what's worked in the past, is what I would say. It's like they approach choices with a very particular idea of what they want, and they have a way of making choices that's very systematic and logical, grounded, right? It's like there's just this feeling of them wanting to like help you not make mistakes they made, or I don't know, it's like they don't want you to get hurt, you know. But I think their ego kind of is getting in the way here. But okay, how does pile number 2 think that pile number 2's person think that pile 2 is feeling? Childhood, again, is this like a parent? Like, I don't know. They just think that and then powers at the back of the deck. Yeah, is there like a weird power dynamic here or something? Like, does this person view you as like more naive or younger? Because it kind of just feels like, yeah, like they maybe think with childhood, it's like, I don't know, there's just a strong feeling that they're guiding you through something, or maybe they're a mentor, maybe there's someone who's looking over you. But it's like there's so much power struggle here. Like the way that they feel is that there's this, they think that you feel that there's a power struggle and that you're feeling the power struggle. And it's like, even, they may even feel like you want a reaction out of them, or, you know, that you want things to change, but they maybe even think that you want, the way you want things to change isn't reliable or isn't a good idea or something. Like that's what they think, but that's their feeling. So I don't know. This is kind of complicated. I hope you guys know by now this is your pile. Let's see what else though. And then with love grows love here, it's like they see you as optimistic, you know, like there's a feeling here of like you being like, yeah, but like times change, you know, like there's ways in which that times are changing, and like things aren't necessarily the way it was when you went through it, or like that's not always going to be the case. Like we don't always have to, you know, I don't know, see it the way that they're seeing it, or like in a protective way. All right. What am I also getting? I'm just getting like the feeling of like someone like being a child and like wanting to give money to a homeless person or something, and like the person being like, no, we don't do that. Like just things like that, you know, where it's like there's just this optimism I think you have, in this like compassion, that it's like this person is in touch with their heart chakra, but it's like they're not as optimistic, you know. All right, what else? How's pile number 2's person thinking that they're feeling? It says lightning, sudden change, shock, news, surprise, epiphany, upheaval, transformation. Yeah. It's like they feel like you want to make waves in the situation. They feel like you want to create some sort of chaos. And they do see you as feisty. It's like they see you as, the way you feel with the devil. It's like you feel like you want to create some sort of waves here. It's like you want to disrupt the peace. That's like the way that they see it. We also have not today, not dealing, hurt, avoiding a conversation, call, boundaries, still angry. Yeah, it's again, remember what I was getting is like not today, not dealing, like boundaries, like not avoiding a conversation. So it's almost like they feel like you feel that they are not open to discussing this or not open to being collaborative, right? And so it's almost like this feeling of like maybe them just trying to keep the peace or something, and like you being like, it's not working for me like this, like I'm gonna get frustrated, I want to break through your boundaries, I want to like make something happen here. Yeah, there's a strong disconnect going on here. Like there's a strong like, I'm tired of things being this way, like I want things to change, like the way it's working is not working. Yeah, look at this: breakup, separation, stop the pattern, silent treatment, abandonment. Yeah, and it's almost just like this feeling of like, okay, if you're not going to budge, then I'm going to cut this off then. Like, I'm going to change things. And it says stabbed in the back too. Heartbreak, pain, separation, deception, shocking, attack. So yeah, it's almost like they think that you feel, and then with time to go, yeah, like you're going to be on your way out because you're frustrated with how there isn't progress being made. They think that you feel like they're not receptive to changing things. Like with the Wheel of Fortune reverse, they're not receptive to making changes or kind of accommodating your point of view and things like that. So yeah, kind of an interesting pile, interesting energy. So let's get some advice for you, and then we're going to go into the extended where we'll be looking at how this person is feeling about you and messages from them as well. Maybe there's just like fundamental disagreements about, like, if this is a relationship, I could see this being like this person wanting to call the shots, or this person like having a certain picture for like things like where we're gonna live, or like are we gonna have an animal, like how are we gonna do things, you know? This feels like someone who's, you guys are struggling to figure out like an equal partnership, or like an equal, like a compromise. It just feels like there's a difficulty when it comes to compromising. Could be due to like status difference, or like maybe someone has more money than the other person, or someone has more success or something, and it's like maybe this person does, you know, or like they have experience, they have maybe built up some sort of money, so it's like they feel that they have the authority, you know. But it's almost feels like, it's, especially looking at how they think you feel, if there's any truth to it, there's a feeling that it's constricting you, you know. You feel tied to it here, you know. It's like you feel like you're being controlled if you're not able to say anything, or like if you're not able to have your point of view heard. So let's see what pile number 2 really needs to hear about this. Okay, we have life is a mystery in reverse. It says time for a deep dive. And then also turn knowledge into wisdom. I feel like this is coming out with life is a mystery because I feel like this is kind of validating your point of view, if anything. Like there's kind of a reminder here to say, like, regardless of how much we think we know about the way things work and how much experience we have, life is always still going to be a mystery. And there's always going to be that, you're right in knowing that there is, not everything is accounted for, you know? And I think this person maybe likes to try to make life as least of a mystery as it can be, but it still is. And so it's like Spirit's giving you validation on that point of view. With time for a deep dive here, I feel like this is telling you that it doesn't feel like this is going to get better if you ignore it, which I think you know. But I feel like with time for a deep dive, this means it's time to really get to the root of the problem, and it's time to really address this. And really, like, time for a deep dive, it's like, yeah, it's like this person's maybe been avoiding a deep dive. This person's maybe been avoiding really getting to the bottom of the conversation. And I feel like Spirit's saying, yes, you're very correct that it is time for a deep dive. And if this person isn't willing to kind of do that, then, you know, that it's still important that you are not blocked because this person doesn't want to look at things truthfully, or stop kind of ignoring like that there's dysfunction, you know. With this, turn knowledge into wisdom. What I'm kind of getting is like, it's kind of, I may have flip-flopped the energy a little bit in the energy check-in, but I think that maybe sometimes this person thinks that their knowledge is wisdom when maybe they still haven't integrated some of their experiences into wisdom that actually serves against different scenarios. And there's kind of a feeling here that if you feel like this person is like kind of hung up on certain details of their past or hung up on like certain failures, it's like it's not to like avoid anything of that sort again. It's more to figure out what was the wisdom in your experiences. And so I don't know, maybe this person thinks that they're really wise or thinks that about them, but there's kind of just this feeling like there's a difference between experience and knowledge, and and wisdom, right? And someone can actually have a lot of wisdom without having a lot of knowledge, and also someone can have a lot of wisdom without having a lot of experience. Like some people just are old souls and born with wisdom. So um yeah, it could just be that this person thinks that. I don't know, but I'm very interested to get into the extended to see how they're feeling. Maybe we can get more information about that. So I'll have it linked down below if you're interested. But if not, I hope you're able to find some clarity from this. I feel like if this is your situation, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about, and you'll be able to drop what didn't resonate and take what did. I'm really wishing you the best in this situation. If it did help and resonate, please do hit the like button. It really supports my channel. Leave me a comment. Let me know, especially for this pile. I'd love to get more information if you guys are comfortable sharing it. And make sure you subscribe so you don't miss the next pick a card reading. And I hope to connect with you again sometime soon. Hello, pile number 1. If you chose this clear quartz raw crystal and the Morgan-Greer Tarot, this is going to be your reading where we're looking into how the person on your mind or your person currently is thinking you are feeling about them. So we are going to be doing an energy check-in. That's not going to take up too much of the reading, but we are going to be looking at who this person is to help you make sure that you pick the right pile. And then we'll be diving into tarot and seeing how they think you feel using some oracle cards along the way as well. So let's look at what we got. So this is, I asked Spirit how you'll be able to recognize if this is your person. So we have the hyena. We have Aries, I am. So right off the bat, these are 2 fire energies. So your person definitely could have fire in their chart. Or maybe you do, but it doesn't have to be the case. But I am getting more fiery energy coming through immediately. We have healing. Actually gonna put this out here. We have 4th chakra, Archangel Raphael. We have child nature. And we also have everything you need too soon. Okay. So I feel like this person is someone that has a very, they're sensitive. So, but there's a feeling that they don't really let themselves be seen that way. It's almost because this person is very sensitive. There's this quote by Alan Watts. I don't know the exact words for it, but it talks about how the most sensitive of us will tend to have the most thick guard up, or we may be the most defensive because we are so sensitive, right? So this is someone who, at their core, if you feel them on an energetic level, they are actually quite sweet, but I feel like they kind of walk around with a mask on or an ego of hiding their vulnerability, and they may do that through humor. So the hyena talks about someone who maybe has a hard time taking themselves seriously. This energy kind of came through in a previous reading, where there was a feeling of someone being always feeling like they have to there's a feeling of someone who's very much not able to show their vulnerability. Like this person wouldn't do well with openly talking about their feelings is what I'm getting. And it's almost like they have this witty personality, or they have this cynical yet they take care of themselves. It's like I think this person has a really hard time receiving like compliments, receiving love from people. And I think that's why this child nature card is here, because there's a feeling that um, they may really like animals. So that may be something you know about them, but there may be a sweet connection that they have with animals, but it's almost like they're only comfortable showing their vulnerable side to animals that are super pure. There's this feeling of them being the type of person that can be a little bit cynical, just because it's almost like they see the bad in people for sure. Um, and this is the kind of person who doesn't suffer fools lightly, or there's a feeling that they might kind of make fun of people that take themselves seriously, or they might make fun of people who are being really authentic and like vulnerable though. And there's kind of a feeling that it makes them uncomfortable and other people are really vulnerable or taking themselves seriously. And I think that one of this person's biggest shadow is not really being able to take themselves seriously, um, while at the same time they are sweet inside. And I think they deep down really do want connection. They do yearn for that, but there's a feeling of them not admitting it and always putting on a brave face to the world with this Aries. It's like they always come off like they're fine, like they don't really need anything, but it's kind of a complex that they have where, yeah, it's like they have a lot of love for the pure things in life though. Like I feel like this person maybe likes nature, likes to get out in nature, and they have a hard time seeing the purity in humanity and maybe even seeing the purity in themselves. So I think this person maybe has a wounded heart chakra with this healing. It may be that this person um so what I want to say is, given I want to kind of go into maybe some scenarios. So I feel like this could be someone that you had a lot of feelings for, and maybe you really wanted to nurture them because you see the softer side of them and you kind of see that they're wounded. So you may have wanted to kind of bring out this child nature side of them and kind of get them to be more open to love, because it's like you sense it's there, but it's kind of repressed or something. So this could be someone this could be an ex, number one, or this could be someone that you tried to get things off the ground with, but it's kind of hard to get them. They may push away love, or they may push away things that would make them happy, and it kind of comes down to maybe not feeling deserving of things. And yeah, it's like they have a hard time. It's clear that they have some deprecating energy about them. um but they come off as a good person though. They come off as an honest person. They do care a lot, but I think they have a hard time showing that they care. And so maybe this person wasn't able to show you that they care enough. And if this is a current person, I feel like there's a feeling that you do play upon this person's heart chakra, and you do wake up this person's heart chakra. But with everything you need too soon, it talks about when your heart chakra isn't open, it's hard to receive what would make us happy. And so we sometimes push away good things because it's like we're not in the space to receive them. And so it feels like this is one of those scenarios where this person maybe sabotages the connection with you, or isn't able to express their feelings to you, isn't able to, maybe when you try to show them love, they kind of push it away. There's just a feeling of a struggle where you know deep down that this person really needs love and has a sweet side to them, but to the world, they almost feel like they wouldn't want to be romantic and vulnerable. Like I feel like this person would be the type of person to think that romantic movies are like not enjoyable or kind of stupid, or they don't really believe in that kind of thing, but it's almost like deep down they do, but they don't show that. So yeah, that's where I'm gonna leave it off at for the energy check-in. Hopefully that gives you some ideas. Also, another thing I would say is maybe this person's comfortable being passionate with all the fire energy. Like they could, yeah, they maybe they're okay with things being like flirty sometimes, or like they're okay with physical interaction with people, but there's a feeling that they don't really let people get too close to them. Like they have a lot of walls up, that you maybe see through, because maybe, you know, I'm just getting the feeling that you guys may be very heart chakra based, and so you can see it in other people. but it may sometimes be a reflection of your own heart chakra as well. So that's what I have for that. I'm going to put these back actually in the deck because I may use some of these. So let's see how they are thinking that you are feeling now. I am going to be taking reversals today. So don't worry about it. If it comes through reverse, it's definitely not a negative thing. It just can give a little bit more nuance to reading. So how is pile number one's person thinking that they're feeling? How is pile number one's person thinking that they're feeling? Also, there will be an extended reading where we'll be looking at how this person is honestly feeling about you right now. So if you feel like this really resonates, you may want to check that out if you feel like it. All right. Pile number one, Spirit. How is pile number one's person thinking that they're feeling about them? How are they perceiving? Okay, we have the King of Swords in reverse. I'm not surprised to see that. The Knight of Pentacles in reverse. Okay, this is already coming through pretty clearly. I'm just going to say what I'm getting as I go, but there's a feeling here that your person, when they imagine how you feel about them, they seem to know, or this doesn't have to be true. This is their subjective feeling, but they certainly feel like think that they have a hard time expressing their emotions. They think that you feel like they haven't given you very much, that you're extreme. They think that you see them as extremely logical, and that you maybe feel like they won't take any action towards you with the Knight of Pentacles in reverse. This person seems to think that you're starting to feel maybe even discouraged by them. They may even feel a sense, this is kind of their feelings. We'll go into their feelings later, but there's a feeling of, based on their actions, they feel like they've came off to you like you'd be interpreting them like they don't maybe have that many feelings, or that it's hard to get progress going. They think that you feel like it's difficult to get progress with them, or it's like, when are they going to take action? Yeah, we have the King of Wands or Rods in this deck. How does pile number one's person think that pile one's feeling? Ace of Cups in reverse. Yeah, it's like they think that you may be frustrated, or that you may be feeling like maybe like your love isn't reciprocated, or they think that you feel like the love wasn't able to get off the ground. Like there wasn't enough, like there was an opportunity here. You felt that there was an emotional opportunity, but it's almost this feeling of it being blocked by their closed off energy. We have the Lovers here. Yeah, but they think that you innately feel a strong connection with them. But there's the feeling that you feel this connection, but there's kind of a hopelessness, or a feeling of, well, how is this going to be grounded? It's like they think that you feel very strongly for them, but there hasn't been much progress. How does pile number one's person think that they're feeling? Judgment and the Nine of Pentacles. Okay. And the Queen of Pentacles at the back of the deck. Okay. I'm going to move this to the side so we have some room for some oracle cards as well. Okay. Okay, so there's a feeling here that they think that you're in this energy of looking at the situation with them and being like, what's the plan? Like, what is the vision for this relationship? They feel like you are looking at this relationship like, yes, you have love for them, but you almost feel like they aren't choosing love in this situation, that they're choosing practicality, or maybe choosing to be overly independent here. Because with the Judgment card, it's almost, this person thinks that you're coming to a point where you want a decision to be made. You want a plan to be made. This person thinks that you feel this way. So I'm just going to keep speaking that way. Just know that this is what they think. It's not necessarily how you feel, but this is what they think. They think that you want a choice to be made with the Lovers here and Judgment. It's like, it's calling judgment on a situation. It's calling time. And it's this feeling of what's the plan, you know? Like, they think you are wondering, you know, what's going on with them. They think that you don't really have a good understanding of their feelings for you because they come off they think that they come off closed off to you, and like they're procrastinating or they're putting off the plan for this relationship, you know? And they also think that you may be feeling like you're going to make a decision sometime soon, you know? Like, and with the Queen of Pentacles at the back of the deck, yeah, look at this. It's like the Queen of Pentacles is waiting to see, like, is the plan going to go forward? Because the the Two of Wands is all about that. I'm surprised to not see the Two of Wands because there's a feeling of them thinking that you're in this, like, Two of Wands question mark. Like, are you going to choose this? Are we going to make a plan? Is this going to go anywhere? Because they think that you want stability. You want more action in the 3D. You want more things to come through with this person that validate this relationship, not just mentally, not just emotionally, but you want it grounded in the physical. You want them to take some kind of action towards you. They feel like you want this person to be in the King of Wands energy, not the King of Swords in reverse. It's like you want this person to know what they want and to make a plan, right? And to come forward confidently, to champion this relationship, to feel passionate enough about it, to pick it, right? And to take action, because there's a feeling of them maybe stalling, or a feeling that the love is running out. This person thinks that your love potentially is running out, or your offer is running out, like that you aren't going to be able to, you know, that if there isn't enough action taken, or if there isn't enough communication, things actually happening, actually moving forward within like the 3D, that this may become a missed opportunity, and it may become an unrequited situation, or maybe one of those situations where you have to call time and kind of claim your worth and go, yes, I do have feelings for you, but if you're not going to kind of be up to par with me, then, you know, if you're in this Nine of Pentacles energy where you're kind of just worried about yourself, and which the Nine of Pentacles is not a bad energy, but when it comes to relationships, this sometimes can signify that someone isn't really interested in expanding to the Ten of Pentacles. It could be that people sometimes get stuck in this Nine of Pentacles energy where they just have everything they need on their own, and it's this independent and comfortable energy. So, there's a strong feeling that this person seems to be aware that an action needs to be taken, and it isn't, and it hasn't been, and it's getting disappointing, and like you're waiting. They think that you're waiting, and you want a choice to be made. You want a clear vision for this relationship. So, yeah, let's get some more oracle cards now to see what else. Yeah, and they think that you do like adore them, or they feel like there's a lot of love in this relationship, but they do feel that their own mental, this is their feelings. We're going to get into their feelings in the extended, but it's like they seem to know that the impression they're giving you would cause you to potentially question whether or not, you know, they think that you feel like they maybe want to be single. They think that you are maybe going to come to the conclusion that they're not interested in making the decision to champion this forward. And there's a feeling of them thinking like, if you don't come through in this King of Wands energy soon, I'm going to assume, I'm going to not just assume, but I'm going to come to the rightful conclusion with judgment here. I'm going to see the truth of the situation, that you want to be single. You know, if that's the case, that's the case. That's what they think you're feeling. So that could be spot on, but that's not really what this reading's about. So how does pile number one's person think that they're feeling towards them? Any information that's useful? We have, repopulation. So exactly. They think that you are maybe feeling like this situation is running dry, or that there isn't fertility in the situation. Like, they think you might move on. Also, they may think that their lack of action is maybe even causing you to pick a different person. Yeah, they think that you're considering your options. They think that you want someone who wants you, which makes a lot of sense, or comes through in a very obvious and passionate and confident way, you know, that makes it really clear. They feel like you want that from them, and if they don't give it to you, they think that you are going to try to find it somewhere else. We have healing through rest. Oh, and we also did, and then we have gifts to the portal on the back of the deck. But I did also see that the Four of Swords was here, so they may be feeling like you're taking a step back from the relationship because maybe it's gotten to a point where it's become hurtful or disappointing. And so this person's perceiving that right now you're kind of pulling back to really look at the relationship and the situation, and you're kind of going to make a judgment call on it because there's a feeling that it maybe, which would make sense, but they feel that it's getting draining and that you've needed more of your own time, that you've been maybe pouring more energy towards yourself, that you've been kind of removing energy from the situation because it's become draining, to feel like you aren't sure where you stand, you know, or you aren't sure if like your offer, you know, if there is an opportunity here. And so it's almost like they think that you maybe are also, I think it could even be for some of you guys that it's not even that they're like, oh, they might make a decision. For a lot of you, they maybe think you already have made a decision to pull back from this connection because it wasn't growing in the way that you wanted. And there's a feeling with gifts to the portal that, you know, you maybe were patient for some time in this, but it's almost like starting to feel like maybe your efforts aren't going to be returned. So they think that you are kind of trying to do some damage control now. Like, okay, like if this isn't going to move forward in the way I'm expecting, then I'm going to kind of, they think it would be hurtful. So they may think you feel disappointed as well. But yeah, there's a real feeling that they think you will, or you have already decided that due to a lack of progress and a lack of reciprocity, they maybe think that you are already you want to choose something different. Yeah. Okay, let's get some more, see what else comes through. They feel like you know what you want. Also, there's an energy of them thinking that you know that you're high value with the Queen of Pentacles at the back of the deck. They think that you know what you deserve, or you've leveled up in some way, but they know that you have a vision for what you want, and you also want someone else to have a vision for what they want, with the King of Wands being there, and that they may not be, you know, up to par. And so they may even think that you feel like being single is better than, you know, suffering a loss in this energy. What else? How does Pile One's person think that they're feeling? Okay, yeah, we have grieve here. Okay, so yeah, definitely. Yeah, that kind of solidifies that for a lot of you guys, they think you're already in a stage of grieving this and moving forward and potentially looking at other options, and kind of needing to release a seed that isn't growing, or something that's, you know, clearly isn't showing progress, or isn't showing an abundance of energy. It's like they feel like you're at a place where, and they see you having respect for yourself, or they think you are having respect for yourself because they're seeing that you're in this truth energy with judgment, and they're seeing that you know your worth, and you're not like coming to this in a needy way. They know that you are coming to this from a high vibration. They know that you have loving intentions towards them, and they know that you're looking for a reciprocity within that vibration. And they know that you don't need them. There's a feeling of that too. but still a feeling of hurt feelings or things. Yeah, like feeling like your feelings are hurt. So how else does pile number one's person think that they're feeling? Yeah, look at this. It says date, meeting someone new, get back out there, plan, set a date. And then Phoenix at the back of the deck. I'll take that as well, or just put it on the board. But yeah, what I'm picking up on, this person thinks that you may even already be dating new people, that you may be looking at other options, new phase, rekindle, renew, transformation, growth, change mind. Yeah, so they maybe feel like the timeline on this has run out, and maybe at one point you were holding on to this and not seeing much progress, but they're really seeing that you're being honest with yourself with this judgment energy. And you know, it's like with this transformation, growth, change mind, they see that you are phoenixing, that like if this was a disappointing situation for you, they feel like you're leveling up through it, that you're kind of leveling up, that maybe even they feel like this situation with them is something that is raising your standards. But they feel like you may be done with it or on to the next, or in at least recognition that they think that you feel that they are not open to love, and you're kind of having to just take that for what it is. Yeah, I'm gonna get a sip of water and then we'll get a couple more. How is pile number one's person? Okay, look at that. Literally, we have TikTok and regeneration. They literally feel like time's running out here, and regeneration is so on par with what we've been picking up, because it's like, it's just confirming that energy of this Knight of Pentacles in reverse. They feel like you've waited, or you've been waiting long enough, and it's almost like they feel like there's a certain amount of time you were willing to see if something would evolve, but it's almost like they feel like spirit is, or not spirit, but they feel like you're reaching that point where it's time to let go, and then so you can regenerate. So that what this person really thinks you're feeling is that you weren't able to get very much from them, and that unfortunately, due to like disappointment and like not really having your expectations met, you're having to cut your losses so you can regenerate, so you can come back stronger in Phoenix. That's all kind of the same type of feeling here. So yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, so hopefully that resonated for you guys. I'm going to give you guys some advice, and then we'll go into the extended reading. Oh gosh. Where we will be looking at how they're currently feeling about you, how they're feeling about the way that they think you feel. It's always such a tongue twister to say all that. Okay, let's get you guys some advice to finish off the reading. What advice do we have for our pile number ones in regards to this person, this relationship? What advice would be most helpful for them? It says now is a lucky time. Be here now. So there's multiple references to the here and now. One more. Spirit has a plan. Okay, so I feel like what your advice is, basically, I feel like you guys already know this, but I think maybe this relationship was something that ended up being confusing for you, or you really felt like this was going to turn into something at this time, you know? But what I'm kind of getting is that this is leading you to something, and maybe there is something down the line for this relationship, but there's a feeling that at the current moment, you're being encouraged to seize opportunities that may be occurring in front of you, and to not miss opportunities, to recognize that the more you kind of open up to this Nine of Pentacles energy, this Queen of Pentacles, you're going to be attracting a lot of options. So it just feels like you have more options in love than this person. And there's an encouragement to not stay too hung up. Obviously, it's like easier said than done, but to make sure that, you know, of course, like acknowledge your feelings about the situation, but definitely recognize your worth and see that spirit may be sending different opportunities your way. And this could be one of those things where what you were disappointed by in this situation, or what you know, this situation may have pointed you to more of what you really want. And so there's a feeling of trusting that this happened for a reason, and for right now this is going to bring you closer to getting to what you want. And it feels like you're really regenerating. And I mean, this is their perception of you, but there could be some truth to that. But yeah, it feels like you guys may have some other opportunities on the horizon where it's going to be easy to recognize based on what this situation maybe didn't bring you. So that's what I have for you. If you guys are interested in seeing this person's feelings for you, to maybe get more closure, to get more understanding, I'll have it linked down below. But if that is all for now, I don't know what I'm saying. This is the end of the reading. So thank you so much for watching. If it did resonate with you, please do hit the like button. It really supports my channel. Leave a comment. I love to see how these readings are resonating with you guys, and make sure you subscribe so you don't miss the next pick a card reading. And I hope to connect with you again sometime soon.